Hello, friends. Now, more than 2 months old war in Ukraine, 61 day today. There have been some changes, there have not been many changes which probably you and me expected. Nonetheless, war continues, and whatever name we give it, Russia versus USA and NATO through Ukraine, Third World War, or whatever, or the need of imperialist power to redivide the world market. It doesn't make difference, but war is raging on. First few general news that have come up, I will talk about them, and then I will sum up. Militarily, there has not been much changes, but we'll talk about them, few of them. Now let us start. The first news that comes from France that Macron has won presidential election, and the US, NATO, European Union leaders have been congratulating and thanking him for the victory. Otherwise, if the opponent Le Pen had won, they wouldn't have known whether she was supporting this war or not, as if the great change would have taken place. To my mind, nothing would have changed. Nonetheless, now whatever happened, as per them, the European Union and NATO is safe. Let them be happy. Yes, whoever wins, I am sure the people of France, despite all their huge processions and demonstrations against this present government, against this president, in name of yellow vests and others, they are the losers. Like in India, it is not different. In all the elections where RSS BJP wins or the opposition wins. Well, coronavirus pandemic, this seems to be having another comeback in China. Not in a big way in India, but yet there are news that it is re-emerging. We have to be careful. We have to watch on this. From my neighboring countries, Myanmar, Suu Kyi, the verdict will be today, and she may be imprisoned for almost 15 years. We have to see that. These are basically international news, and USA has again said that it is going to re-establish its diplomats sitting in Lviv as well as in Kiev. Blinken had come yesterday, had a talk with top Ukrainian military and political leaders, including Zelensky, and have promised another $700 million military aids to Ukraine in all forms, starting from tanks, fighter aircraft, etc. That is to be seen. While we are talking about military aids, there is a small news that has come up, and this is by Stockholm Institutional Peace. Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, in short SIPRI. It has said that in 2022, the military budget has crossed 2 trillion US dollar globally. The main culprits are US, China, in this order, India, UK and Russia, who spend more than 62% of the entire amount. And mind it, this increase has been continuously for last 5 to 7 years, even during the coronavirus pandemic. That is capitalist imperialism, for your information. And the other countries which could be mentioned who have increased their budget or have worked in this area are Iran, of course NATO countries or NATO as an entity, Nigeria, Germany, of course part of NATO and European Union, Qatar, I haven't seen it yet, but they must be part of it. That is Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Israel. Because these countries are not only using these weapons but selling weapons. These countries, meaning the war industry, is thriving. It doesn't matter, there's a world pandemic, world war, or whatever happened, they are thriving. Economic crisis, economic doom, it doesn't make much difference. In fact, we can say safely that war industries are saving the moribund capitalism today. Whether a particular country is social democrat or a fascist country, it doesn't make difference. Well, the other news part of it, which I was enumerating since the beginning, IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, they are shelling Lebanon position heavily. That is to be seen by you in detail. Now, I will not go in the informations what I have called you so far. As the Russian onslaught is concerned on 61 day, and last week, since second phase has started, its heavy shelling continues in Donbas regions, entire Donbas in fact, Kharkov, Mykolaiv, Odisha, and elsewhere, wherever it finds the target. That is tactical bombing as well as strategic bombing. Tactical meaning in short, immediately after the border, the enemy line, to help its own forces to continue forward march and destroy the enemy's ability to interrupt and in fact destroy them as such, so that its own military moves forward. And strategic means their ability to have reserve in terms of oil depot or arms or munitions or whatever they have, even reserve army, so that the reinforcement is crippled. Mariupol, there is nothing much to say, except that in Azovstal, that is the last bastion, if at all, left by Azov's military, Russia said that it will not demolish from the top by bombing them because civilians are supposed to be hidden in those areas. However, it says that artillery and MLRS, that is rocket firing, will continue to deplete their strength, and they are continuing. In the meantime, Ukraine has accepted that it has got quite a lot of rockets, missiles from USA and other countries. And in Kramenchuck and other adjacent part of Donbas, in fact in Donbas, they have reached. That means Russians need to be alert. This is being announced also. To some of friends, war, as I have said, is the lifeline of capitalism in decay. Not only fascism, neoliberalism, but the war, outright war, and between the two biggest or few biggest military power of the world, except so far, no use of nuclear power. You might have heard mini nuclear power. If you know about it, do comment. Another point is media. Both the sides, especially the Western media, Ukrainian media, and even Russian media, I am not denying that, they cannot be taken as independent. Absolutely no. They are part of those corporate world and war machinery which they are serving for, they are working for. Indian media, you know better than me if you are an Indian. Well, this is the thing that is happening, and Zelensky in this condition has said that the victory finally will be that of Ukraine. And hence, he hasn't said it is mine now. Inference that peace talks, irrespective of whoever is talking, whatever is doing, like Turkey is still saying they will like to mediate, is not moving forward. And they know significant territorial gains, either from Russian side or the loss from other side. The war continues. We keep watching. In fact, it has become boring for us, isn't it? People are dying. Children are missing their school and playgrounds. Women and old people are being killed. Pandemic comes, reduces its lethality, again returning back. But war industry is growing up. and we are taking side of Russia or US NATO and jumping up and down, even if we are though not part of these countries, sitting in India, shouting, look what Russians are doing, forgetting what Americans have done before. Or look what Americans are doing, forgetting what Putin is today. By the way, Putin had crushed opposition and Zelensky has banned. What happened to the parliament? Zelensky has been talking the world over parliament wherever he got chances. How about his own parliament? Does that exist? Do the opposition parties of Ukraine exist today? Or they are already liquidated? Or behind the bars? Or no one to hear them? Well, as an individual, you, if you have some critical brain, what you got to say, friend? Thank you.